this the answer I've been looking for in my quest to make interesting and engaging videos? Hey, what's up guys? So a couple of years ago, I decided to start a YouTube channel where I make motorcycle and motorcycle related content. And before I go any further, I want to make perfectly clear that that is what my channel is about. I am a content creator and not an influencer. I have no desire to be an influencer whatsoever. And in fact, if you're influenced by me, something has gone terribly wrong with your life, okay? But the reason I differentiate between the two is because there is very different styles in filming between being an influencer and being a content creator. Now, if I want to be an influencer, I can just film myself doing silly stuff out in the public square, right? And it doesn't really take a whole lot, maybe editing, but not a whole lot of video considerations, right? But when you make content, the intent behind it is to get people to watch your content. And for a while now, I've had my channel for about 2 to 3 years now. And while it has improved over time, it's still not getting the viewership that I would like for it to get. And after thinking about it for quite some time, I've come up with 2 big reasons why maybe I don't get the amount of viewership that I'm hoping to get. The first reason is video editing, okay? And of course that's huge when it comes to getting people to want to watch your videos. They have to be edited properly. And that is something I have been working overtime on here lately. I have been doing a ton of studying, watching all the other YouTube gurus and their video editing tips and all that stuff. And it has definitely been getting better. What I have found though is you get to a certain point where you go from no editing at all to really over editing your videos, right? So I'm putting in all of these transitions, and it actually is taking away from the experience of the video. But I think that's to be expected, right? That's just part of the growing process. But at any rate, so I am very heavily diving into the editing process now. And the other thing that I have come up with that could really help my videos become better is to expand the aperture, if you will, all right? So what does that mean? That means finding new ways to film not only my motorcycle riding, but the reviews and gear and maintenance stuff that I do as well. So there are so many motorcycle riders out there that have YouTube channels where we've all seen it. You basically have a guy with a GoPro on his helmet, maybe one on his handlebars looking back at him, but that's about it. And he rides down the road. You see the handlebars of the motorcycle and the road out in front of him, and he talks for maybe 45 minutes. And while I'm not taking anything away from those guys, it's just not a way to keep people engaged with your video, right? It gets boring after a while. And for those who just make it because they love to make videos, keep it up, man. I think it's awesome. But for those who are looking to improve and expand their viewership, I think you have to be honest with yourself, and that's just not going to cut it. So like I said, the way to improve that, at least for me, I think, is by opening the aperture and finding new ways to film my content. And that's where this guy comes in, the HoverAir X1. Now, HoverAir calls this a flying camera, not a drone, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I am looking for new ways to film my content. And in order to film, you have to have a camera. So I like that this is considered a flying camera, not called a drone. Now, I am a drone newbie, but to be completely honest, I have used a drone before. I have a DJI Mini Air 3, which, as I understand, is a very, very good drone. The problem with it is you have to know what you're doing in order to shoot footage with it. I have crashed it into so many things. It is incredibly difficult to ride a motorcycle solo and try to film video of yourself. It is just not something I really enjoyed using. I was never good at it, and I ended up just pretty much shelving it. I bought the HoverAir here in order to give myself a little bit of advantage while riding a motorcycle. They say that this drone is autonomous. There are several different modes. You just set it, hit the button, and it does its own thing. And that is absolutely awesome when you're trying to ride a motorcycle on single track or rocky trails or whatever, and you don't have the ability to fly a drone. So I've had my Hover Air for just over a week now. I've basically had enough time to learn the buttons, figure out what each thing does, but I don't have a whole lot of flight time with it. I think I maybe put it up in the air 6 or 8 times so far, okay? So I'm still very much new at this, and the purpose of this video is to see if an absolute drone newbie can use the Hover Air effectively to get good video footage. So what I'm going to do today, while I'm here at this nice park in the foothills of outside of Denver, is I'm going to take some video with this using the pre-programmed modes and see just how easy it is to use. Now, I will be shooting everything today in 24 frames per second because I want to get good cinematic shots with it today. And then later on in the video, I will be going out on the motorcycle and filming in different video resolutions and stuff like that to see just how well the camera will do in motorcycle riding conditions, all right? All right, so the first mode I'm going to use is the zoom out mode. So one of the really cool features about the Hover Air is when it's done flying whatever pre-programmed flight you had it do, it comes back to you. All you do is you stick your hand underneath the drone and it knows to land on your hand and stop recording at the same time. You don't have to hit any record buttons. As soon as it launches, it'll start recording. When it's done, it comes back, stops recording, and lands in your hand. Very cool when you're out on a bike. Okay, one of the other pre-programmed modes that the Hover Air X1 has is the hover mode. You can set it at what height you want it to hover, low, medium, high, whatever. When you push the button, the hover will automatically lock onto your body or your face or the beacon if you're using that, and it will just follow. It doesn't go anywhere, it stays, but wherever you walk, it will follow. So let's check this out. This is hover mode. Okay, so right now, you see the red light is on and it's just hovering, and wherever I go, the drone is going to follow. So this is really cool for shots where you're on a bike, for instance, and you want to maybe start out in the distance, right? And then walk, or excuse me, ride past the drone at a closer distance and then get further away, right? Or keeping the same basic distance from the drone and walking in an arc. So having just a hover mode offers quite a few artistic abilities, if you will. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to walk back to the drone, hold my hand out, the red light turns off, and now the green light is on, showing that it's powered on, but it basically just landed in my hand and shut down. Very cool function of this drone. Now, one of the cooler features of the X1 is, in my opinion, the dolly zoom. Okay, so the dolly zoom basically it was created by Alfred Hitchcock when he was making The Birds and Psycho and stuff like that. And what the dolly zoom does is the drone will take off from your hand, go out a predetermined amount of feet, and then it will come close to you while making the background kind of seem smaller. So it's a way to zoom one portion of the video and scale out another portion. It's a really cool feature, so let's go check it out real quick. And it works the same way as any of the other features. You just push the button, the Hover Air will take off and do its thing, and this is dolly zoom.
6 feet.
Here we go.
Dolly zoom.
Now it is quite windy out here today. I'd like to say I'd wait for a non-windy day, but it's Colorado. It's always windy here. So, but that's the dolly zoom. Okay, so that was the dolly zoom feature. What we're going to do next is the dolly track, which is another really cool program on the Hover X1 here, where basically I'm going to launch the drone and it's going to stay a certain preset distance in front of me and kind of follow where I'm going from the front. It's going to be going backwards while I'm walking forward, and it's a really cool cinematic effect. And let's take a look at it right quick.
Middle, dolly track.
All right, well, here we go. I'm just going to walk and see what the drone does. So it's kind of trying to track my movement. As I go from left to right, it will kind of move with me. And hopefully the stabilization is okay. It's really windy out here. Well, not terribly windy, but sort of windy. But if I take a right turn real quick and kind of go this way, you see it kind of tries to track in front of me. Now the camera also has rear-facing sensors, so if it's about to run into a tree or something, as long as you're not going too fast, it will stop. Okay, and then if you stop moving for, I think it's 5 seconds, it recognizes it, returns to home, stops recording, and will land in your hand. So that's a pretty cool feature that can be used if you're like in tight spots in the woods and stuff like that. I think it'll make really good video. We'll see here in a little bit. The next feature we're going to use is the follow feature. And again, you can set these to whether you want it to follow flat, follow in the air, or up high, down low, and what distance you want it to follow at. So let's launch this real quick. You should probably be able to see the drone there behind me. And it will follow up to, I believe, 40 kilometers per hour, so around 28 miles per hour, which is pretty good. Okay, and then again, once I stop moving, it will detect that, close the distance, and land. Okay, another really cool feature on the X1 is what's called the spiral mode. It's basically like doing an orbit around you, but what it does is as it's going around in a 360, it climbs, and you can set it to different heights, different speeds, different amounts of orbits around you, and it's really a great cinematic effect. So let's check this out real quick.
8 feet, spiral.
So it's going to kind of do some adjustments. It's going to lock on to its target. And then you'll see the red light come on, which means it's recording. And there it goes. So now it's going to start spiraling and rising at the same time. All right, guys, so that is the more cinematic type of video in 24 frames per second. So what I'll be doing for this next portion with the motorcycle is filming in 60 frames per second, which gives you a lot more options as far as speeding up or slowing down video footage. It doesn't give you as much of a cinematic effect, but it does give you the ability to manipulate the speeds a lot better without getting choppiness or blurriness, etc. So, without further ado, let's go get some video. Okay, let's go cruise around, see if we can find some good areas to take some footage with the drone. One of the really nice things about this drone is it's right here in my side pocket of my pants. So that is really convenient, and you know, most drones you can't do that with. So let's go. I haven't been riding up here, so hopefully can find some nice areas to check out. All right, well, this looks like a pretty good area to do the follow, and with any luck it's going to follow right behind us, which it currently is, looks like. Okay. Yep, still is. Now hopefully it will maneuver its way through these branches and stuff. It's supposed to be able to do that. Yep, still right behind me. Dolly track would probably be kind of tough up here, but we're going to give it a shot. So remember, dolly track is where it's going to follow right in front of me. All right, there we go. There we go. Woo, makes it a little tough when you got to go super slow. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. I'm going to hit that tree right there. Oh, all right, so it did see the tree. Oh, okay, now it's going to follow. It's going to follow right behind me. Wow, it stuck with me. That's pretty cool. How about that? So, yeah, now it's going to come right back to me. Let's shut the camera off and landed. Well, guys, so all in all, the Hover Air X1 Pro Max is a really user-friendly flying camera that does not take a whole lot of skill to use. There are certainly some things to take into consideration, and there is a little bit of a learning curve to really use the flying camera well. But my assessment is that using something like the Hover Air specifically, in order to improve the quality of the content that you're putting out, is a no-brainer. I think that anybody who's looking to make their stuff better, make their content better, more viewable, more watchable, and just more exciting, this is the way to go, using a drone especially, but really implementing whatever you can to spice up your video content a little bit. If you are interested in growing and you want to put stuff out there in the world that people want to watch, you need to expand your horizons a little bit. And a drone, flying camera, whatever you want to call it, is a good way to go. I would definitely recommend the Hover Air X1. I think it is really great. I ran out of batteries, unfortunately, but just before I ended this video, I was taking an orbit shot of the motorcycle here, and it was a 30-foot orbit, and the drone got to the top of those trees right there, clipped a branch, went into the trees, bounced around a little bit, fell out of the tree, landed flat, fortunately, and the gimbal had tucked the camera up underneath. I fired it back up and it was ready to go. Tried to do it again and it ran out of battery, unfortunately. So I don't have the footage of that. But the durability has been tested. I've crashed it a couple of times now. But more impressively, there's a bunch of times where I haven't crashed it. It really has flown very well. I have not been using the beacon. I have just been using the track, you know, the whatever it sees when it first starts up mode, and it's done really well. So guys, like I'm saying, if you are interested in bringing your content to the next level and you want to get more viewers and more people to talk about your channel, implement some other methods, especially if you are a point of view kind of filmer like I am, like a lot of guys who ride motorcycles with the helmet cam and just looking down the road. Find other ways to get exciting footage into your content and work on your editing skills. Editing skills are tough, but if you go to YouTube, there are 1,000,001 tutorials out there. That's what I use, and it's been helping a lot. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a great big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe channel and ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out any new content. I am going to go ahead and put a wrap-up video of all the drone footage immediately after this for you to see, and hopefully it will inspire you to either go out and get a drone yourself, or flying camera, whatever you want to call it, or to find some new way, because there are a lot of us out there who have a lot to offer the entertainment world, the YouTube world, but we are just lacking in some of the more critical skills, I think. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day wherever you are, and I hope to see you guys out on the trail sometime.